Hello and welcome back to episode 11 of HardReset's HighScore Shooter game tutorial in Godot. In this episode, we'll work on main menu and game over screen. Let's begin! So, as you can see, we have this very basic game right now, when you have one enemy that can kill us, and if it kills us, then it resets our game, and we can of course kill him, and then nothing is happening. And we'll work on the enemy waves in the future episode, but for now, let's make a full gameplay loop. Let's make it so we can go into main menu, we can go into the game, and then we can go into our game over screen if we die. So, let's begin. We can begin by going into new root node, and this will be the type of user interface. Now, we can rename this to main menu. We can create a color rectangle, and we can make it so it will go into full rect, so it will always cover the whole screen. Now, of course, it is very wide for right now, so I will darken it a little bit. So let's do something like this maybe. And of course, you can probably add some custom effects to that. I don't really care about this. Instead, what I care about is, okay, technically we can make a few cool things with that, because we can add a sprite to D, and this will be type of a gun, or like even make a quick Godot in here. We want to scale our little guy up by, for example, 5, or even like, 7. We can make it so it's rotated a little like this. We can move him. We can basically add a gun in here, which we can also scale up. We can also move the gun a little bit, so have something like this. And let's do this. And of course, we can have our bullets. So let's make a bullet, which we can also bump up the size of like that. And the size of the pixels actually match, which is pretty surprising. And we can rotate it slightly, so it kind of looks like it's just shot. Beautiful. I'm going to do Ctrl D just to duplicate this and make it go here, for example. Let's call this one and this. And of course, you can do whatever you want. I'm just going to do this very quick mockup. Now, this all is part of the background. So let's create a new child by pressing Ctrl A, and I will call this RichTextLabel. And you can call this game name. I'm going to do a full rectangle of top wide, but we need to have a minimum size in order for this to work. So minimum size will be set to 100. And we can go disable the scroll. We can make it so it's the horizontal line from the left, the vertical alignment to the bottom. And we want to enable BBC code, because then we can make a shooter game title or something. And we can go very quickly into theme overrides and font sizes, and we can bump up the font size to 48, for example. And because we have BBC code enabled, we can do cool things like wave and, for example, rainbow, which is a very cool thing. Now, if you want to learn how to actually make this pretty, so how to import custom fonts, for example, then you can just watch it in our channel, other tutorials on that. I did record it. But as you can see, this is our game title. Beautiful. And now all you want to do is, actually, I'm going to move. Oh no, this is fine. We can just leave it as this. But what I want to do is I want to move them slightly here. Cool. And now we can go into adding the VBoxContainer, which will arrange our containers vertically. And you can also set it to our center, to V-center wide, so it will be like this. Cool. We can go into, or actually just make it center. Let's make it also the layout, and the minimum size of this will be, let's say 500, or maybe like a little lower, 300. And the custom minimum size, it will be probably 200, I guess. This will be fine. Of course, we can lower this down a little. Or we can just make an anchor point at the bottom, so that will be just automatic. And now into VBoxContainer, we can add buttons. So we want to add a button. And this will be the start game button. So let's just type in start game. And another button. And here we can just go into leave game. Cool. Okay, so now I will save this. I will go into scenes, but now I will create a new folder. And for this will be UI. So we have a main menu. Beautiful. It's pretty ugly, but it will work fine. If we go into F6, we can see that it does indeed work. Is it pretty? No, but I just want to show you how you can make the functionality, not the prettiness. Now I will also go into the user interface here, and I will create the same thing for our devScreen. So we can go into ColorRect, and we can make it full rectangle, so it will always cover the whole screen. I'm going to do this. And now I've prepared a little skull before. You probably know by now I just made it in Piskel, which you can see right here. This is the skull. So we can import that into our settings, into our assets, sorry. We can set it here. I'm going to scale this up significantly, so 4 times bigger. And actually, let's make it 5 times bigger. Cool. So it's in the middle. And we can create a new rich text label, which should be anchored to be at the very top. And one more time, or actually, let's make it anchored in the middle. Okay, cool. Now we can make a new and disabled scroll active, make it align at the center. Oh my god, a layout minimum size of 250, for example, or even better, like 300. Yeah, it's fine. We can go into theme overrides and font sizes, so the font size will be 38. And one more time we can do a UID. And if we enable BBC code, and we can go and make a very cool shake. And also we can do a very cool pulse effect, so it will kind of do this. So amazing. UID. Okay. And now we can also do the same thing. So the VBoxContainer, I will also quickly make it so it's in stack in the bottom. The layout and minimum size will be 300 and 300 in here, and actually this will be 250. And now we can add a button for restart, or just restart or try again. So we can have try again, and a new button for returning, so return to main menu. Okay, so as you can see, this still doesn't work, but if we go into F6, we first need to save this, so this will be renamed to our devScreen, or you can call it game over screen, whatever you want. Let's go into saving this into our main menu, and if you go into F6, this is how it works. It is not pretty, but I think it will be good enough. Okay, so how can we actually start the game? First of all, we want to make sure that we always start in our main game. So you can go into project settings, and into run we have the main scene. Currently it is the game, so we want this to change it to be the scene of main menu. So now by default, when we open by F5 or if we export the game, we always start here. But as you can see, these buttons don't really do anything, so let's make them do something. First of all, we want to go into our main menu. Let's create a new script. Since UiMainMenu.gd, that's good. And of course, we first want to get an access to our button. We can rename this to start game button, and this one to leave game button. Okay. And of course, we want to go into signals, and we can go into button pressed. So let's go here. And on start button press, we can go into get tree. Now we want to go into dots, and we want to change scene to file, and then we can get our scenes folder, and we want to go into scenes, world, game. Beautiful. Now we can do the same for leave game button. So let's click leave game button. Let's also connect a signal pressed to that. So double click, go into connect. And in here we want to make sure that we can leave the game. And actually, not gonna lie, I need to double check how we can do this, because I doubt this will be for get tree. I literally just forgot. Okay, actually, my bad. And we do the get tree, and we do a very simple dot quit. So yeah, we can just quit the game, and we can go. And actually, I believe you can start this. So if we leave the game, the quit does work. And if we start the game, we are starting the game, and we are getting killed. But let's actually get it. So after we die, we see our dev screen. So let's go into our player. And here we have the get player. As you can see, currently the kill player. Currently we are just reloading the screen. So instead, let's go into get tree, and let's do a little change scene. Oh, sorry, change scene to file. And here we want to go into scenes UI, dev screen. Now, of course, you can probably make a little animation that shows your player dying in fire or in explosions. But for the purpose of simplicity, I will just keep it as simple as possible. And now in our dev screen, we want to add a new script to that. So UiDevScreen, good. And here, the same thing's going on. First of all, our first button is for restarting. So try again button. Okay. And this one is for returning to main menu. So return to menu button. And now if we go to script, and if we go into base button and pressed, we have on try again button pressed. So let's connect this. And on try again, we want to load our default thing. So we can go and say that we want to get.tree. And we want to change scene to file. And this will be player tsn. World game. Okay. And now we can go and return to menu button. We can just go and say pressed. And we can call get tree. And you probably know by now, change scene to file. And of course, main menu. Okay, cool. So we can start the game. We can die. We can return to main menu, and we can start a game one more time. And as you can see, this is how it works. We can try again, and now we have a complete thing. Now, in another episode, in the next episode, we'll work on actually calculating the score, high score, and displaying it in our player UI. But for now, this is all for the episode. If you've enjoyed this series so far, make sure to leave a comment, like the video, and as always, good luck on your game dev journey. See you next time!